Hi guys and welcome to my channel. So I thought I'd do something a little bit different on my channel today, a hair and makeup get ready with me for kind of an autumnal look, just because I love doing makeup and hair looks and I just wanted to try something different on my channel. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you like this kind of video, give it a thumbs up. It's actually very hot today, but I think this is the last bit of summer and then it's heading into autumn, so hopefully by the time I get this video up everyone's ready for an autumnal look. But yeah, I'm just going to jump straight into it. So the first thing I've already done is to put on this NARS Smooth and Protect Primer. This has SPF in it, it is SPF 50, and it just kind of like smooths out your skin a little bit, so I absolutely love it for that. The next thing I do, even though it is an autumnal look, I absolutely love a dewy, glowy look. So I use this L'Oreal Paris Glow Cherie, which I actually got in Australia, but I know you can get it here in the UK, so I will link it down below. By the way, everything I'm going to use is going to be linked down below. And this is just so good as like a base glow. In fact, I'm going to put my hair up because it is so hot. And because I hate mess, I squeeze it straight onto my face. I am obsessed with this. Like, I used it all through summer because you can just get away with using this and a bit of concealer and not putting any foundation or CC cream on, and you just kind of have like a nice glow. But I'm actually going to put it underneath this It Cosmetics CC cream. Again, this has SPF 50 in it. It is so good, add a bit of colour but not feel like you've kind of like caked on. Always take it down my neck because otherwise I have like different colours going on, and yeah, it just kind of like evens out my skin tone just a little bit. Then I always use two concealers. This one, which you can buy from Boots for I think £4.99. This is from Collection 2000 and I absolutely swear by it. Even though it's £4.99, I think it's just as good as some of like the 30 quid concealers. I love the Tarte Shape Tape, so I use that to kind of brighten as well. So I'm just going to put the Collection 2000 concealer under my eyes. And on any spots. And I get redness around my nose. And then I'm going to use the Tarte concealer to brighten down my nose, my chin, and tiny bit under my eyes to blend it all together. By the way, this is the Tarte Kabuki brush, which I absolutely love. I also then use a beauty blender that is damp. Next up, I do my highlight because it is a liquid highlight and the first rule of makeup, all liquids first, then powders follow. So I use the L'Oreal Glow More and More liquid illuminator, which looks like this. It is delicious, and I just like drop a little bit on each cheek. So then, once I've done all my liquids, then I'll move on to powder. I just like to set a little bit my cheeks before I go in with bronzer because otherwise it will go choppy and patchy. I use the It Cosmetics CC Airbrush Perfecting Powder. And I just put that around my cheeks and my nose where I tend to get a bit shiny. And then basically my whole face, but I also try and just dab under my eyes to set that concealer. Then I go in with my Benefit Hoola bronzer, but I use this for contour because it's such a good shade. And I literally use the same brush probably on the edge. Making annoying faces. And do the top of my forehead because I have a huge forehead. So if you want your forehead to look a little bit smaller, bronze at the top. Next up, this is very sad because this is my absolute favourite highlight. It is by Becca and this is Champagne Pop, which is the Jaclyn Hill collaboration, and I dropped it. So I am absolutely gutted about that, but it still works, I just can't travel with it. So we just get some on the edge of a fluffy angled brush and put it over the top of my liquid highlight. And it is honestly the most beautiful colour. Then I do like a blush, especially in autumn. I just think it complements like eyeshadow really well. And I absolutely love the Nicked Baked blush. This one is in Wanderlust. It's just a really pretty colour. So I use that same brush and put it on the apples of my cheeks. Okay, so next up brows, and I just use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Pomade in Auburn. Because obviously it's a slightly warmer tone to match my hair, and then I just use an angled brush like that. So I know there are many people that will probably disagree with me, but in my opinion brows shouldn't be too perfect. I don't like it when they are concealered round and they like could cut someone. Just because I think that looks like they've been really drawn on, and I just prefer like a more natural look, I guess, although I've gone for quite a strong brow, so not that natural. But anyway, next up is the good bit, so I am going to move in closer because this is basically where I do my eyes, which is my absolute favourite thing and what makes an autumnal look in my opinion. So my favourite brush is by Morphe, but I have lost my absolute favourite brush ever, which was my fluffy blending brush. But I am using today the Real Techniques angled shadow brush. So this is just like really fluffy and not dense, so it's great for blending. So first of all, I am just going to use these two colours here from the Morphe palette, which I will link below. This is the 350, so again another collaboration with Jaclyn Hill. Can you tell? She is one of my favourite beauty YouTubers. But I am using these two colours here. I do blow it out quite high because I do have hooded eyes, so it just helps to, one, be able to see the makeup look, two, make my eyes look a little bit less hooded and more open, and because it is quite a subtle colour, it's just quite nice to have like it a little bit higher up. It helps with blending too. So yeah, once I've blended that out all the way, and I do bring it onto my lid as well, I am then going to use some bold colours today. So I'm going to go in with a mix of this one and this one. I'm going to just change my brush quickly to a flat brush. So this is just going to help pack on the colour. So I'm going to use this one and this one. And I want to keep this colour as low as my crease line. I don't want to go any higher than that because it will blend up a tiny bit, but if I take it any higher and then blend it, it's going to go super high, and this is too bold a colour for taking it too high. It will just look like you've raided your mum's makeup bag and don't know what you're doing with makeup. And then once you feel like you have it everywhere, grab that same blending brush again and then just blend the crease. So next I'm going to use my flat brush again, and I'm going to be using this colour down in the corner here with a tiny bit of this one, so these two here. The Morphe eyeshadows are so good because they are so pigmented. Like, I didn't even have much on my brush, and you can just see already how pretty that is. Again, make sure it doesn't go above the crease. And then I'm going to take my blending brush again and just blend that out. So what I'm going to do is quickly put some on the bottom lash, and then I'm going to tidy the whole thing up. So I'm just going to take another Gosh brush. This is just like a really dense short hair brush for my bottom lashes, and I'm going to take this warm brown colour here. And then with the brush that already has a little bit of excess on, just leave it on and blend that out. And then that's that. So then I'm just going to clean up the edges where it's gone a little bit messy. So that is the eyeshadow done. The next thing I do is eyeliner and mascara. So I am using the Revlon Colour Stay. Black, and it's just one of these that comes out like that, and I'm going to line my waterline, so up in here, and then on top of those lashes I'm going to leave the bottom lashes bare. And then I use a mixture of two mascaras. I use this one because it is running out and it's good as like a base mascara. I've actually already put this on today just because I did a few things this morning and I wanted a little bit of mascara on. So this is the Tarte Man-Eater mascara. I love this brush as well because it just gets really into the roots of the lashes. And then on top of that I put the Maybelline the falsies. So I've just put that on my top lashes. If I was going out I probably would put false lashes on, just halves in the outer corner of my eyes because I really like a winged out look, and especially with an eyeshadow this bold. So the last thing I'm going to do is my lips, and I'm going to use the Kylie matte liquid lipstick and the Kylie liner. Both of these are in ginger. So I'm just going to line my lips. It's a little bit gone as this lip liner. But I'm going to use that first, and then I'm going to put the matte liquid lipstick over the top. Just like that. So I have overlined my lips a very tiny bit, just because it is such a dark bold colour and I do have quite a thin upper lip, but I think it goes with the eyeshadow really nicely. They complement each other really well. So that is pretty much my finished makeup look. So I just realised that I also forgot to do my setting spray. So I use the Kat Von D Lock-It makeup setting mist, and this is honestly the best thing since sliced bread. It is so good. It will hold your makeup on through everything, no joke. It is also so fine, so it is just amazing. Couldn't recommend it more. The Urban Decay Stay All Nighter is really good, but that one is better. So if you have the Urban Decay one, I would 100% recommend the Kat Von D one because you will love it. So the two things that I use to style my hair at the moment are the L'Oreal Steam Pod. This is basically a little machine where you put water in this little thing, and then steam will come out of the holes in here, and it basically means that if your hair is a little bit drier like mine, it won't dry out your hair as much because the steam is putting moisture back into your hair. The second thing I will then do is curl it with a curling tong. This is the Babyliss, I think 35 millilitres, but again both of them are going to be linked down below. The reason I straighten it first is just because naturally it's quite wavy, so I need it to be straight so that the curls look right. So that's what I'm going to do right now. I'll show you exactly how I do my hair. I'm going to use a heat protector spray as I always do. This one is Thermal Creations by Tresemme. So I'm just going to put the top layer of hair up. Then in order to use the steam pod, because it has this kind of like brush-like bit here, you have to brush your hair. So I need to brush through and spray in the heat protector spray. So as you can see, I just straightened it super roughly. If I was wanting my hair straight, I would spend more time on it and do it properly, but because I'm curling it, I just need it to be roughly straight, so I've got like this base to work from, and this is straight enough for that. What I might do is put a little bit of oil through it because my hair is naturally dry, so just to give it a bit more moisture and make it a little bit less frizzy, and then I will let my hair cool down and then I will start curling it, because it's just important to let it cool in between, so that when you are styling it with a different styling tool, the curler, the curling tong will actually work, whereas if it's still hot in this straightened position, it's gonna find it a lot harder to make the curl stay, if that makes sense. So I am just using the L'Oreal Elvive Extraordinary Oil, which also does have heat protection in it, so that is ideal for this. Just a couple of drops in my hands and I just run it through. I do have very thick hair, so if you don't have a thick hair, I wouldn't advise putting too much oil in it because it can make it go a little bit greasy. Also make sure you keep the oil to the lower half of your hair rather than taking it up to the roots. But you can see it just makes it a little bit less frizzy and a little bit more smooth. So next up is the Babyliss curling tong. Again, I'll link it down below. It's quite a thick one because I have quite thick hair. And then I just start with small sections and curl away from my hair, away from my face even, and just leave it on for a few seconds. Always make sure your hair is flat to the barrel, so never just kind of like twist it on, because the hair being flat against the heat is what makes it stay. So if you twist it, it's not likely to stay for as long. Because I have such thick hair, this is the bit that takes me forever. So with the waves on the bottom layer, you can get away with just kind of doing the bottom half of them and doing them a little bit more rough. But with the waves on the top, you just want to be a bit more careful in getting them all the way to the top of the hair. I'm just going to redo this one a little bit higher. At the moment I'm really enjoying kind of loose beachy boho waves. Sometimes I do my curls with slightly bigger sections and kind of more of a blow dried look, big barrel curls. But yeah, as I said, at the moment I'm just really enjoying like the really loose beachy waves kind of vibe. So because I have so much hair, the curling part probably takes me about 15 minutes and the straightening part probably about 10 minutes, so it probably does take me about 25 minutes if I want to curl my hair. The other option is sometimes I occasionally blow dry it, so I'll blow dry it straight or straight-ish, and then I won't need to do the straightening part. But either way, it probably does take me the best part of half an hour to style my hair. And then because they are quite like kind of loose boho-y waves, I don't need to brush them through or anything, I just leave them, they drop like a tiny little bit, and then yeah, I'm left with this kind of like loose beachy waves vibe, which is what I love at the moment.